Haha! Hello, my friends. This is Alphinius Goo here in Atlanta. Very steamy and very moist. Yes, moist is a strange word, isn't it, Cameraman D?
I don't know. I find it to be a fine word that
Moist.
describes some things
It's very
accurately.
moist.
So, I am so sorry. I missed. There was a huge thing happening in the chat this morning, and I was trying to get a video to render out, and um, everyone is just having a
What
great
was
morning. It
happening
seems
in the
like.
chat? Was it cool? Because I don't get the chat, because I'm like,
Well, I think it's Patrick stirring up some.
oh, shenanigans.
Yes, naturally. So yeah, I do think you're gonna be taken into custody here soon, Mr.
Oh
Alphinius.
yes, well this is not something I am concerned about. Ms. Goo will not have it. So
Oh, okay, okay. Yes, y'all are gonna go up against the wrath of Miss Goo. Anyway,
anyway, no, we are here in Atlanta for the day job, right? So we are here. There is every 4 years the YMCA, yes, of YMCA, yeah, that thing, yes,
I think
they
that's
do.
copywritten.
It's okay,
Okay,
it's
just making
okay.
sure.
We're on the edge of media, so we do reporting on things. That's pretty clear. Anyway, um, we have had a wonderful thing here with uh, all the different things that the YMCA does in many communities to help the homeless people, folks who are down and out, right? To help older folks who probably couldn't afford even to be able to go to work out and get healthier. And there's just a tremendous things that the YMCA does that much I did not know about, and it's very very cool to learn about all that stuff. So anyway, and Atlanta is just totally steamy, which is what I remember when we came here for Dragon Con a couple of years back. It is beyond the pale. There is like 90 95 degrees in temperature, and then like 95 100% humidity, right? So you walk out there at Cameramandi and it's just your sweat ball. You know what I'm saying? It's just disgusting.
I've only been there twice, and it was both times was a layover to fly to the Bahamas with you. So
Oh, so you didn't end up going outside at all. So you had no experience.
yeah, exactly. So I do not know what you speak of,
You
but
never came with us to Dragon Con.
no. I'd love to try it though, sometime.
One of
Dragon
these
Con,
years, we
we'll
make it
see.
come back. Have to come back.
But
But
yeah,
forget that because the big con that's coming up is Gen
Gen
Con.
Con.
Yes.
And let's go ahead and do some social really quickly. We have a really fun show.
Oh yeah,
We
Mandy's
have
trying to hurry me along because her friend has a baby shower, right? So
that is
Mandy's like,
not.
we got to hurry because I got to leave early. I'm like, you can't leave early. We
I
have to
just want
leave
to
on
make sure that
time.
we're entertaining and not boring people with talk of Atlanta weather and
True, that's
you
right. I
know.
apologize to all of you people for speaking about the weather. That is kind of boring.
So anyway, but yeah, I let's talk
But we got
since
Armando the Bard who's going to come on here in a
I
minute
know
with
it's
us
gonna
and
be
hang
so
out.
much
Yes.
fun. Yes.
And we are giving away two maps, right? Two of the big maps, not one, because we screwed up and didn't put the thing up. So we got to do that over the next couple 3 weeks, get that all done, and give away a second big map, which is I'm very excited for that. I think a lot of people are excited about that. And you remember every time that you enter here on Goo Morning Zyathé, you get an extra entry to join to join the drawing, right? So you get extra entries versus most people only have one or maybe a couple. So
We are being
so
boring. We're being boring this morning.
that's boring.
No, I'm just saying. Dennis is like snoozing over here.
Sorry,
Like
Dennis, my
we're
bad.
we're
Anyway, so tell about the hype train that happened last week, because just real quick, and then we'll jump into some other things.
okay. Well, we're still learning Twitch, so so
We don't know what
basically,
the hell we're doing. It's a low
I
budget
know.
production.
I know. And so last week it was our 100th episode, and a lot of people like subbed to the channel, and they gave gifts of subs to people on the channel, and it was really quite incredible. And we got to level 4 hype train. So anyway, that was super fun.
Is that cool?
And
Does anybody know if that's cool to be like level 4 hype train, or do you have to be
I
like
mean,
level
I imagine
400?
we're probably we're like for us this is a really big deal. I'm sure that like Critical Role probably gets to like level 3000. So
Yeah,
Anyway,
they probably push it far more over the
yes.
top than we do.
Yes. But with that said, it means a lot to us. And we really appreciate you all so much.
Indeed. All right, so let's do a little social media before we grab Armando. How's that for you? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. So Harry put this up, yes, and Michelle said her hair was quite bright.
It was very purple. I had to we were figuring out lighting in the studio. But yeah, this is from a couple years ago when we had guests out who had purchased a certain tier on the Kickstarter, and they got to
Yes.
come to our office and play with Alphinius as the GM. And I mean, this was one of 3 weekends that we had guests out that was like very special. So
It was incredible joy running the games, and of course they ran some games that are involved in the world of Zyathé, right, and some side tales and things like that. In particular, around my little area that is called Vendrune. So we had a little bit of fun there and ran around. And Michelle, you were a delight, and of course, we had many friends come, Josh and Kaya and Casey and Tanya and Harry with his son, and just it was really, and more. It was just a wonderful, magnificent time with folks. Howard came out, Mandy, if you remember. So it was quite special.
Well, what's interesting is that Casey had come out with his family, and he has 2 little sons. This wasn't for this weekend. I think he came a few weeks later.
Yes.
But they were just at the office yesterday helping us put all the stuff together for Gen Con. I have some wonderful pictures to share.
Isn't that something, all the stuff, camera Mandy?
Yeah, Rin was there too, and it was so cute. Rin and Casey's kids, they were playing Camera Mandy and Alphinius Goo. So Rin was in my chair, with my hat, and the other 2 were in your chair with your pipe, and they just had their microphones clipped on.
Did you take some pictures?
I did, and I'm gonna post them all over social media. So anyway, yeah, it was super cute. I've never been so flattered in my entire life. Although Rin says that she doesn't think I'm gonna do that great of a job because I'm gonna do Dungeon of Dunix at the convention, and she's like, we'll see what you do.
She's pretty good at the old Dungeon of Dunix.
She is. She had very little confidence that I could do as good as her. She's
we have a number of wonderful painters in the Gooey Den, right? And really some very talented people. And the very interesting thing that I apologize, I got something in my eyeball, so I'm trying to get it taken care of. But the interesting thing about painting miniatures, I want to tell you this, my friends. I am not a very artistic person in terms of being able to draw things and paint pictures. And in fact, I would say I'm pretty terrible, truth be told. I'm a decent art director and I'm a good writer, but in terms of doing that kind of material stuff, I'm not very good at that. But what I have learned about miniature painting is that there are many techniques that if you employ and you have a relatively steady hand and relatively good eyes, which can be augmented with anything that magnifies, yes, you can be probably a very serviceable painter. So a long time ago, there was some people who painted at a number of different game stores that I went to, Games of Berkeley, and there was all these marvelous images of painted miniatures that were put up. And sorry, not images, but actual painted miniatures. And they were so wonderful. And so I started researching. And at that time, the internet was in its infancy, so there wasn't a whole lot of information. But I started researching about how to do shading and how to do highlighting and even blending to some degree, right? And I learned that I actually could paint miniatures pretty darn well. And I don't know if Michael's watching. This is Michael's work. But Michael, his journey over the last year and a half, from really beginning to be a miniature painter to really becoming quite an amazing miniature painter is wonderful to kind of track. In fact, I should ask him one of these days to put up some of the first ones that he took pictures of, and then some of his most recents, like this incredible monster. So we always love this kind of stuff. When people put up their artworks and their images and their miniatures is fantastic. So, and anyway, I hope everybody loves this thing because I think this is a great creature. Love to bust that thing out. That's definitely an abomination to me. Yes.
I think this would be a good entry for because local stores will do mini painting competitions.
Yes.
This would be a great Halloween.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, next up we have some new. Are these Fusiliers?
No, so this is actually for another game.
Oh, the
that
Demon
Harry,
Age.
yes,
Yeah.
that Harry
Uh-huh.
sculpted for, and Harry, of course, has his little miniatures page, and he's doing some wonderful, wonderful sculpts. We are patrons of Harry,
Uh-huh.
and I think you should check it out if you get a chance. Harry's Minis on my Mini Factory, but these are really, really cool. Very, you could use them for Shadow Punk. You could use them for, all steampunk, Shadowrun. I kind of mixed them up there, didn't I? Yes, Shadow Punk. Yes, yes, that's a new game. Yes, we're going to do Shadow Punk. All right. Anyway, I don't know what that means, but we're going to do it anyway. But they're really good, Harry, and thank you always for sharing these and for all the wonderful Zyathé miniatures that you do, and we appreciate them very, very much. All right, cameraman.
Well, and once I get my stuff together, which is coming up here, it's coming together. We are gonna be having a Wednesday show with Harry.
Oh
Called
yeah, that's
Creative
right. We're
Goo.
gonna do the Wednesday show. I think that'll be a lot of
Yes.
fun.
So I just have to have enough time to finish getting it all together. And talk with Harry. And,
Well, once we get past
yeah.
Gen Con, that will help a lot.
Yes. And we're also moving stuff downstairs. Because we have a lot of new product coming in. So this week has been a lot of I had like bruises all over from moving
Yes,
stuff.
it's a
It's
lot.
just been crazy. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. So Gen Con, we are like completely sold out of all of our tracks. And I think last time I checked, there was only 6 tickets left to the Great Gooey
Game show. Yeah, it's gonna have more people than last year, and of course, last year was kind of standing room only. Now, Casey did say he is within reason he'd let people come in for standing room. So because you know how it works at Gen Con, you have ticketed events, but then people show up and they have I don't know, optional tickets. I don't remember what they're called, but you could actually use one of those just to go in and join a game, and you turn in your ticket. And so when people don't show up for games, that gives people an opportunity to join. Last year at the game show, we had quite a few people show up at the door and turn in those tickets. So it's going to be packed, and it's a star-studded event, right? We're going to speak with one of our stars here in a minute with
Armando the Bard. Armando the Bard. But Peter Adkison is going to join us.
Yeah, Peter is going to be there. Luke is going to give us a little MC. We got Todd who's going to be there, right? And Jeff Hall is going to join us. And
Tommy Rice.
Yeah, Tommy Rice is going to show up.
We have a great lineup of people.
It's amazing. It's crazy. So we're really excited about it, and got a lot of prizes to give away like we always do. It's most people walk out of there with a prize, which is pretty cool.
Carrie came yesterday to help us with the Gen Con stuff, and
Yes.
he brought that he had bought like a Kickstarter or a package of something from Alien, and they had shipped him 2, and so he gave us the extra. It's a set of 3 books, and he gave us the extras to give away at the game show. They're very cool.
That's fantastic.
So and that's just one of the prizes. We're going to have a $200 gift card to Dwarven Forge. We're going to have a $200 gift card to gooeycube.com for our online grand prize winner. So we're going to have some really amazing stuff.
Yeah, and all kinds of miniatures and stuff. I'm digging out a few things from my basement and some very cool stuff that metal things that aren't really quite so common anymore, and all kinds of wonderful things that others have donated and provided. So we're really, really excited for the game show, and of course for Gen Con in general. And it just speaks to our wonderful team of game masters and our EOs that we are selling out like we're selling out. And we got such great feedback last year about how great our games were, and we're really excited about this year. And Darkness in Genzicon, which follows on from Shadows in Genzicon, I think is going to be a fun new adventure. It's a limited edition that will only be provided there at Gen Con, and then of course for about a month afterwards to our Gooey friends. And then after that we take out the portraits of the special people from Gen Con and swap them out with regular portraits and take off the limited edition thing, and then it becomes just a wonderful game. But if you want to get something special, that's the place to get it, is at Gen Con or in the month or so afterwards, where we have the okay to sell it to our constituencies, as it were. Yes, so very exciting.
I do want to address something in the comments, which was Randy was saying maybe next year we can not run games during the game show, so that way all of our GMs can come watch the game show. And that's something we did talk about with Casey Casey brought this up yesterday. What am I talking about? I'm a little okay. Yeah, but Casey brought it up yesterday. The idea that we could just say this is our offering for this time slot, and so that way our GMs could go enjoy the game show.
Yeah,
So we are working on that.
That's a good idea. I actually like that idea. Plus, it's fun for them to be a part of it.
Yeah.
They can all sit together in one section and be really rowdy, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh my God, that would be so much fun. I totally agree.
Oh yeah, Todd put up some Todd has been blessing us with these wonderful pictures of his marvelous builds. He has a fantastic
That was that. I didn't mean to jump ahead. I was going to scroll in on these. So we know it's coming.
Yes, of course it is. But I just, as everybody knows, I'm a terrain freak, and Todd and I are like soul brothers in this kind of thing, and I must say that even though I've had some beautiful builds at my table, I don't know that consistently I at all approach even close to the magnificent builds that Todd puts up. And we have others in our group as well who do fantastic builds that we have shown here as well. Paul, right, Mandy, and others, so we appreciate that they.
It is a low budget production. It is a low budget production. I don't know what to say. It's just the truth. So.
All right. So you might as well. You've already shown it 16 times.
I didn't mean to. Okay.
Yes, Geeky. We can always count on him to point out the obvious.
I think I will make a Goo Morning Zyathé shirt that says low budget production.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. We could give away a few of those. That'd be fun to do. Yeah. So anyway, Geeky, thank you. Always give us a laugh. This was fantastic. Danny Tron. I'm not going to go into the whole read of how he did it and what he did, but it's a really, really cool little application of travel. And as everyone knows, I really love travel in the game. I like to. There's no question that sometimes I just speed up travel and you go from here to there without too much circumstance, right? But there are times when actually the journey is part of the adventure, and I love travel. And if you get a chance, just take a little read about what Danny wrote in here, because it was good. It was a very interesting method and application, and I liked what he was saying.
And I'm also going to just say, Todd has said this too, and so has Paul, but what he has here, the map grid with the little icon things, that can be just as much fun as a giant setup with the Dwarven Forge. And that's what I love about this game so much, is there's really no wrong way to play. And his players were super engaged with the idea that he had in a very simple map. And I think that is what is beautiful about our community and about this game. So,
Mandy, you're right. And beyond that, I just want to tell you, I know a number of groups that do not play with miniatures, maps, or anything. It's all theater of the mind, right? Yep. So again, that's absolutely right. I'm a terrain and miniatures freak. That's absolutely right, Todd.
Yep.
I have spent so much of my gaming life with so many different game masters and so many different players, and have tried so many different things, and I must say that for me, there's a lot of breadth of joy. I don't need a certain specific methodology. I like, obviously terrain and miniatures because I'm a hobbyist and a collector and a bit insane, as Ms. Goo calls me all the time. But I love. I have sat and done Call of Cthulhu entirely in theater of the mind with virtually no accoutrements whatsoever. I played some of the modern sci-fi games. What I said earlier, Shadowpunk and Shadowpunk, and what's the other one? Cyber Run, Shadowpunk and Cyber Run. So anyway, yeah, that's the secret one. That's right. Anyway, so no, if you get a chance, read this. It was great. It was really, really good.
Yeah. Okay. I think we have a couple more posts, and we're going to bring on Armando.
Oh yeah, we put up where our booth is located.
Yeah, thank you, Randy. This is what I love about our community. I haven't even had a chance to post this yet, but Randy's on top of it. And we're going to have amazing things at the booth, including really cool prizes that you could win.
Yeah, that's another thing, is there's a really cool opportunity to win some prizes at the booth. Yeah, Tiamat. Yeah, if you've
So
seen pictures of that, so we've
yes,
you should have put that up so people could have seen it. Well, we can do it next
I
week
did
then.
it. I did it last week.
Oh, that's right. We
I
did
didn't
with
want to
Carrie with
repeat.
and Carrie had the wings. Yes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So Zon, so I love our Nzandra Oz, right? I love their story, right? The tale of the Nzandra Oz is so magnificent because these created beings, right, who were manufactured by the Therns, really to be their slaves, right? That was the idea. They would be their servants. Are look at the Woe of Ruin as their day of liberation, right? Excuse me, but they also have a wonderful storied history that goes along with them since the woe, and of course the Zytherium that runs within them, that very special magical material is very valuable, and some of them are hunted because of this. And anyway, and I love what Benjo did with Zahn, because Benjo gave him that sort of dark lower area, almost like he's got a shadowy beard, right? And it's just very a wonderful image. And you'll get to meet Zahn in the darkness in Genzicon, and it's I think this is an incredibly cool tale.
Sorry, I was gonna go to this slide here with
It's a low budget production.
but I know I did forget that I had shenanigans in between the two.
Yes. And Patrick is going to win the shenanigans thing today for sure, right? So, but so Shadows in Genzicon, of course, is a murder mystery that goes all around the castle, right, and the keep. And I really I'm very proud of it. I think it's a really good murder mystery adventure that has enough combat that for people who like combat, it's not boring, but it has lots of puzzles and mysteries, and it kind of helps the game master through running a murder mystery with a lot of little hints and such that really makes it great. This, of course, it follows on from that, and it is actually the origin tale, at least for the party to be able to learn the origins of where the Oculux actually came from. And I think it's very cool. It's not at all like Darkness, excuse me, like Shadows in Genzicon. It's a dungeon crawl, and it's got some a very interesting beginning, which is actually the adventure that will be run in by our game masters at Gen Con. And I'll be interested to see the feedback, because it's very combat and puzzle focused, and it's a very interesting set of combat circumstances. So I can't wait. We're going to actually go over it with our game masters here on I think Sunday. I'm not sure for sure, but I think it's Sunday. Casey was polling folks, and it looked like Sunday was the winner. But I think folks are going to love it. And so we will see, right?
Carrie read it yesterday to proofread it.
Oh yes.
And she said, honestly, it was a lot of fun. So that was her feedback. So
thank you, my dear. Thank you.
My group is starting on Shadows in Genzicon, and it was really fun because my NPC makes an appearance there, like Mira Mandy, and I got to play her at the table for the first time ever. So she's very snarky.
Fun. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm telling you, I love mysteries are hard to do in a lot of times in these games.
You have to be good at note taking. That's the key.
Absolutely.
Is that you have to really write everything down, which can be hard when you're trying to engage at the table. So
yes, also the game master needs to be comfortable with reviewing previous sessions, and making sure that certain things are put forth, and don't just put it on the players to remember something that you haven't played for 3 weeks, and put it on them that they don't remember that they just lose, right? That you got to manage that as best as you can as a game master, because it's not like real life where whatever they just found out an hour ago is transpired, only an hour has transpired. It could be 3 or 4 weeks, and so you have to kind of help that along. And I talk about that in Shadows and Genzicon. Anyway, Darkness is great. I'm Carrie, that makes my day. AJ was pretty enthusiastic about it as well. So I am hopeful. I'm very hopeful that all of our friends will receive it well. So that is good.
All right, last slide. So okay, here's the deal.
Patrick.
Did you say Patrick was a lawyer? Is that?
I believe that Patrick
Patrick's-
does serve in such a capacity.
Patrick's in the comments. Patrick, are you actually a real
I
life lawyer?
believe Patrick serves in said capacity.
Okay, because his missives are so funny. They're so well thought out, well worded, filled with like little nuggets of hilarity.
Yes.
So,
but I really want everyone to understand.
You're going to be arrested.
I'm not being arrested.
You're going to be arrested.
This is some parallel universe.
This is
Listen,
the multiverse where Alphinius is just de-hatting everyone, throwing kids in a pit to get rid of their hats, just a menace to society.
You have to, if you haven't read this, you have to read this one. This one will probably make you laugh quite a bit. It's pretty funny. So Patrick does get the Shenanigan Award this week. Yes, Cameramenti, that's
I would definitely say that, Patrick.
Ding, ding, ding. I don't know what all these Shenanigan Awards mean, but top
We'll figure it out.
But
We're
right now,
the
top Shenaniganators are Patrick and Harry and Geeky. Yes, that's the top Shenaniganators right now.
Yes, we have other shenanigans going on, but
you
yeah,
can
they're
still
definitely
get involved in the shenanigans.
I happen to know there's a really big shenanigan coming from someone else.
Oh, yeah, Marcus has shenaniganed a little bit in the past, but he's sort of not been shenaniganing lately.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're gonna bring on
Armando.
But first, I'm going to show a little video to set the scene about this very interesting human being. So we'll see you in a second.
I roll the dice, make it sound like music. Brother Gary EGG showed us worlds of wonder. D&D, 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 D&D. Roll for strength and wisdom. D&D, 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 D&D. There will be adventure. D&D. I am Armando the Bard.
Hello, Armando the Bard.
Yes. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks all for watching this week. We'll see you next week.
Well, Armando, my recollection was there was a few libations involved.
Just 1 or 2 or 10, as the Duke might have said. Yeah.
Yes, and Rob is there doing the sway. Yes.
That is awesome. Everybody needs a groupie, right?
Yes.
I watched that video, and Adam and I would just sing that song for weeks afterwards. And we just find ourselves D&D, D&D, and we're not singers at all. But yeah, it was so much fun. So yeah, I think you have a really nice voice.
Oh yeah, beautiful voice, man.
And your guitar, Alphinius, was just.
Can you imagine? Listen, all that music being played there just with an air guitar, the entire score.
Actually, I would call it a hot air guitar.
Hot air. Very hot air.
Let the battle begin.
So tell us about how you even started down this path and what you do for performing in a D&D type setting.
Okay. I'm going to blitz through this in about a minute, okay? I took notes while I was waiting in the green room. By the way, the virtual cookies in the green room are fabulous, let me tell you. I'm going to lose all.
We do our best.
Thank you.
They say we're a low-budget production, but
man. Low-budget production.
That's what I hear. 1 chocolate chip per cookie is just not enough. Two. All right. I started playing war games in junior high school, Avalon Hill type of games and stuff. After graduation from high school, my best friend went to Berkeley, and he said, he called me up. He said, Gabe, there's this game. It's like the Lord of the Rings, but you play one of the characters. So I got on a plane, went to Berkeley, and spent the first weekend of up there just learning to play D&D from 3 little books. That led to me attending my first game convention in the Bay Area in 1979 called Pacificon.
Pacificon.
I ran D&D games in a comic book shop while going to college. The biggest game had 22 players. And just to show it wasn't a new thing now, they each paid me $5 per person to play. So I might have been one of the first pay-to-play DMs. I don't know.
Professional GMs, I think is what they're called. Yes.
Professionals,
Yes, I that then led me to putting together, in response to a Dragon magazine article about a group that had set the Dungeons and Dragons marathon record at 100 hours. We put a team together in 1983. And yes, I have news clippings still, where we broke the record with a team of 5 of us. I don't know how I stayed up for 101 hours straight playing D&D. I can't stay up for 8 hours without a nap right now. So, but it was great fun. From there, I designed and operated a play-by-mail game called Fantasy Empires in 1984. And that was very D&D-esque in its nature. It was an empire-building game. After leaving IT in 1997, I found an auction on eBay for a secret playtest of D&D, a new edition, 3rd edition, where I met Peter Adkison. He was the secret GM for this. That was where Armando the Bard was created, because there was, for the first time, a Bard class that was for real. It wasn't one, I just talked to Luke about this last weekend. His dad wasn't keen on Bards, and that's why Bards were so difficult in the first 2 versions of the game, right?
I did not know that.
12 levels of rogue and 19 levels of assassin and 5 levels of cleric and 48 levels of paladin. Then you can be a bard. It's like, he doesn't want bards.
Wow.
So I got to play a bard, and Peter and my friendship started in 1997 at that secret playtest. I opened a game store in 1999, tabletop gaming, ran my first convention for the local RPGA called Springtime for Nyrond around 2002, bringing together my musical theater and gaming worlds together, Nyrond being a principality in, I believe, the Forgotten Realms. Then, in a welcome back Cotter kind of way, I purchased Pacificon in 2005. So now I own the first game convention that I had ever attended. During the lockdowns, Peter reached out and asked me to be part of something new he calls Actoroke. And I performed at Gen Con and GaryCon in that capacity ever since. What Actoroke is it starts as a role-playing game. People play a game, they establish a story, a screenwriter or playwright then takes that story, creates a script, actors are cast to play those roles, and then a movie or live presentation is done of the initial story that the RPG players created. And so I've played on both sides of that fence, and it's been amazing. Let's see. Last winter, we filmed the first Actoroke full-length movie at Chaldea Studios in Seattle. And you can see all these episodes and stuff of Actoroke on Gen Con TV. I promised Peter I would plug that. Gen Con TV, folks, a great place to go. But don't miss these people's show because it's funny, too. That movie is still in post-production this year, but we hope to see it soon. And then at GaryCon this year, oh my gosh, this man accosted me in the vendor hall, and he kidnapped me and forced me to perform on a streaming game show of some sort. And he promised.
Now let's just be clear. Accosted could have lots of ramifications.
I'm curious
Ms. Goo sometimes watches this show, so I don't.
Oh my goodness!
That there was anything untoward, Armando.
Okay, one could say that he punished me into doing it.
Okay, so wait. So you're in the vendor hall and you see Armando, and you're like, let me guess, sir, will you come to my booth? But in like the Alphinius accent, not
Go ahead, Armando. You can tell the tale.
Yeah, I'm curious. What happened here?
Please.
No, you do it. You're the guest.
So I was walking down the halls of GaryCon, looking around for just the perfect dice, when all of a sudden this voice hails from afar, from some foreign land that I cannot distinguish. And it says, Armando, do you hear the show, Armando? Do you hear me beckoning you to come perform for me? And I couldn't resist the lure of that siren call. And here I am today. And I couldn't be happier.
So,
I love it.
Armando, I just want to tell everyone that's really the Hollywoodized version.
Okay,
Because I can't sing like that.
Alphinius. Okay, so did you know Armando before? Or have you guys met before?
No. What happened was we was walking by, and I just said, "Hey, blah blah blah." We struck up a conversation. We took kind of a shine to each other. You know, obviously you've got a lot of things in common because I also was at, I believe, that Pacificon in, would you say 79, Armando?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I believe I was at that Pacificon. We very well could have crossed paths at that time. In those days, I was good looking and poor.
Well, I've always been poor.
That's the collegiate experience, right? Is money and lots of ambition. At least you hope to have a lot of ambition. Anyway, but no, it was magnificent, and you were wonderful, and you came on the show, the game show, and of course you're coming back, right? You're going to be on it this year.
Sir.
And,
yes, sir.
So Randy had asked if you're going to be at Gen Con. The answer is yes. Armando will be at Gen Con. He will be on the Great Gooey Dungeon game show. And what else do you have on your slate this year for Gen Con?
Yeah, what's going on when you're there?
What else do I have on my slate? Let's see. Good thing I wrote notes here, and I have it on the other side of the big screen behind the. So if I look up, it's because I'm looking at my notes, right?
What people don't know is that when we invite guests on, we don't prepare them at all for any of the things that we're going to ask. It's just a conversation.
No, it's
we're
better.
The worst.
Don't you think it's better? It's more extemporaneous,
off the cuff,
right? It's more, I think so. It's more fun.
Yes. So yes, but let us know.
I'm appearing, of course, in the Great Gooey Dungeon game show, right? Yeah. I got it.
You did it.
It's great. Which is happening on Friday at
9 a.m. 9 a.m.
9 a.m. That's it. I haven't updated my website yet. By the way, you can find me at armandothebard.com. Ding. Okay. And then on Saturday at 5 p.m., I'm appearing in Peter Adkison's World of Chaldea Actoroke for a live stage presentation as Armando the Bard, playing Armando the Bard.
So we have some people in the chat asking if you will come to our party, which is Thursday night, and serenade us with a song.
Well, I have a work in progress right now. I have one stanza that I could sing for you. It's a sneak preview. It's a cappella, which means it's without a piano or avocado or anything. So I would, if you would allow me, I can sing this for you now.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely.
It's a work of parody, so it's protected by under fair use laws, according to my attorneys.
Uh-huh.
So yes, if it lampoons, if it parodizes, right, that is all part of the fair use.
And you'll love this especially, Alphinius, because it goes back to our roots. Okay. Let's see. I've never actually done this. I haven't put it out loud before, really. So bear with me. Where can you find pleasure? Find monsters and treasure while you show your fearlessness. Where can you begin to make your fantasy true? Underworld and wilderness. Where can you learn to fly? Hide in shadows, roll high, studying dungeonology. Though it can be tragic, fighting men and magic, a gnarly party is the key. Play in D&D. Yes, you can sail Chaldean seas. Play in D&D. Yes, you can fling your dice with ease. Play in D&D. Then you can ride on giant bees. Play in D&D. Play in D&D. Play in D&D. And that's all I've got so far.
Apologies
to the village people who I absolutely adore. So that was a parody to their song, of course, In the Navy.
Yes, In the Navy.
So it's just weird the way these things, bounce off one's head. I was at my gal took me to the Hollywood Bowl to see Mamma Mia tribute band, right? Oh my gosh, I was in seventh heaven. And when they started to play Can You Hear the Drums, Fernando, all I could hear was, can you hear the bard Armando? Can you hear him singing far off in the hills? And on and on. And for at least 10 minutes after that, I couldn't stop coming up with verses and stuff like that, to the point where she started recording me so that I would have memories. I could go back and look at it. Anyway.
Well, Mondo, listen, there's also that other song, right? There was something in the air that night, right? Something. Armando, right?
Stay
You got that
tuned.
one. You probably got to dance that one too if you're going to do all these parodies.
Well, I often say that Armando the Bard is my third and final Pokemon evolution, right? And prior to this, in evolution number 2, was a person called Professor Herman Aloysius Mondo, okay? Or Professor Ham, if you will. And he was a time-traveling adventurer. The problem is he can only time travel in one direction and at a constant rate of speed, apparently. So I would then try to write parodies on Mondo Man. I get to be the Mondo Man, right?
Mondo Man. I want to be a Mondo Man. Yeah. I know. Nobody expected there to be this much singing, but it's Tales from the Bard. So, of course.
Musical. So that's my backstory. And as far as people singing at their parties and stuff, send me an email and I'll certainly
I'll send you. I'll hook you up with our party on Thursday night. It's gonna be a good time if you could come. And Alphinius will be doing a rousing chorus of Myron the Ugly Troll. Yeah, so there's gonna be.
You can help us out.
Yes.
Yes, I can. I will.
So we have a question from the chat. What is Armando's favorite bard college in 5e?
I should know that. It's on my character sheet. I haven't looked at D&D Beyond since the whole,
thing went down. Okay, that's fair. Yes.
That whole thing, right? But the problem is my Armando the Bard character sheet is there that I use for Actoroke, and we're having, oh my gosh, the Barbarians, that's our group name. The Barbarians are, yeah. The Barbarians are. Peter's running a game for us at Gen Con this year. I am so happy, and so he's. I need to look at the character sheet and upgrade him to 8th level now. So it's the which bardic college?
It's either going to be. It's got to be the eloquence, right, or the glamour, right, or the lore, right?
No, it's something more basic than that. Sadly. I don't recall off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I'm bad. I'm a bad bard.
It's okay. Well, let me ask you though, because I was really interested in some of the stuff you were saying about bards from when D&D first started. This is stuff that young people like me would never have a concept of since we weren't around during that time. So you were saying that Gary didn't like bards or didn't make them very playable.
Well, I don't know that firsthand. This was just talking with Luke.
Yes. Okay.
I don't think Luke will now ever talk to me again. But no. I absolutely adore what Gary did for the world, for the community, and for my life. I've made my living mostly in this community, and it's been a lovely, stress-free, glorious, accepting community. And I can't work hard enough for it or say enough good things for it, right? And Gary and Dave, but Gary put the business model together that made it all work, and God bless him for that. But he made it tough on bards. I don't know why. It could be, bards make a lot of my wargaming friends kind of cringy, and Gary's background was as a wargamer, right? Because that's where D&D sprung forth from, wargaming. So maybe it was that. I don't know. I can't ask him now.
That's fair.
But Mandy, what Armando said is true. You had to get levels in other characters before you could actually transition to be a first edition bard, a first level bard.
Yes.
So it was a tremendous amount. If you played it straight, it was a tremendous amount of work. Of course, our table, we bagged all that stuff and just let people start playing bards at first level and mess around with it a little bit so it wasn't out of balance, right? But they're also monks. Remember in monks, they were kind of a pain in the butt too, and they were kind of weird, right? And then of course there was psionics, which had to be some sci-fi enthusiast, right? Because there was also Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which is that adventure in that magnificent spaceship that crashes, right, and all that stuff. I'm actually hoping we'll do something like that in the future. Galganoth departed the world of Zyathé before the War of Ruin into the void space. So you never know, these futuristic things could come, but it will be magical future. Anyway, I digress. So Mondo, tell me the truth now. So
Yes.
what you're arriving on what day at Gen Con?
I am arriving at 3 a.m. on the wee hours of Wednesday morning, Tuesday night.
Marvelous. So let us try. I think we're getting in on Wednesday late afternoon. Let us try to just find a few moments to just sit down and really do. Please consider coming to the party on Thursday night. Is it 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, Mandy? I think it's 8.
I can check really quickly.
I think it's 8.
But yeah.
I believe it's in the Gooey room, Mondo. There'll be a ton of people there, all kinds of Gooey folks.
The only thing on my dance card.
Yeah, it's at 8.
Yeah,
I'll be stationed at the Hyatt for the convention, and then on Thursday night, the only thing on my dance ticket is a dinner with Peter. So once that's done, I am a free agent for the night.
Wonderful. See if you can drag him along. I'd love to give him a hug.
I would love to go. That sounds.
Yeah, see if you can drag Peter along. I'll give him a hug, and I've got something for him. I think. I for the first time I've ever really had it. I've had a little slowness with my artists. I have a number of artists that I really can count on to boogie along, and I think a couple of them that I normally count on have gotten some extra work, and they're trying to balance that plus the work they're doing for us, and so we've been a little slow on GenZicon. So it's kind of a little tight, but we're gonna make it. Mandy is looking at me with that look.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had a look that was like, oh.
Honestly, part of it.
I'm not stressed about that at all. Really,
because I went to Europe too, right? If I hadn't gone to Europe,
it's good you could take vacations. It's important to take vacations and go enjoy your life. D&D is amazing. This community is amazing. It's important to always have balance, though. Always important to work hard, play hard, and enjoy every part of life. And we are very lucky to have a wonderful side gig with Gooey Cube, where we get to really explore creatively certain aspects. And I'm sure that's part of what has driven you, Armando, to become a professional GM, to buy Pacificon, is the fact that it's just a fun playground for all sorts of creative people to play in. So
yes. All right, so Mandy, it is 10:47 here. Sorry, there, and 12:47 here,
yes.
Which means we have 3 minutes before we cut early, so you can go to Tiffany's baby shower.
Okay, but let us finish though, because I want to hear about Pacificon. I know it's coming up in a couple months. Alphinius, I believe, will be out there.
I am going to come out there and figure out something. Mondo and I got to have a little chat about how we're going to do that. We got a booth, right, Mondo? We figured that out.
Yeah,
we got the booth and all that stuff figured out. So
yes, sir.
Oh yes, and thank you to the chat. Please put in #maps to be entered to win. Thank you. This is what I love about our people. They're the ones who reminded me.
Everybody's here just to win the map and to see Armando. They don't care about us, Cameron.
You know what? Look at this. Lord Kirk left this comment about how to become a bard.
Yeah, look at this.
That's pretty impressive. It says to become a bard, a human or half elf had to begin with very high ability scores: strength 15+, wisdom 15+, dexterity 15+. Is this real? And charisma 15+,
yes,
intelligence 12+, and constitution 10+. These daunting requirements made bards one of the rarest character classes. Bards begin the game as fighters, and after achieving 5th level, but before reaching 8th level, they had to change their class to that of thief. Wow, that is nuts. Well, thank you for that information, Lord Kirk. That's a lot.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, Cameron Mendy, what you also got to remember is that those stats, if you were playing it straight, you rolled 3 6-sided dice.
Oh yes, in order.
Yes, that was it. In order. That's exactly right. And you took them and you played with them.
Wow,
that's right.
All right,
So
so
to get those stats is
So-
a little
it's
tough.
difficult. Yeah, if you have to start with that, that's crazy. Sorry.
Remember, Armando, when you roll the 18, right? The one time you roll the 18, like, oh my gosh, I got an 18. It's the greatest thing ever. And then you roll like a 6 for your
6.
constitution.
Balance in all things.
No, after I rolled the 18 for strength, I then rolled the 96 for Lord Frederick. So he kicked butt at 1896 strength, let me tell you. So
I got to tell you.
Oh,
Go ahead. No, go. Keep going.
So Labor Day weekend is the Pacificon Game Expo. In 2029, we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary, right? So we'll be there this year, September 1st through 4th at the Santa Clara Marriott Hotel. All the deets are at pacificongameexpo.com. I also want to mention that we do shows in Sacramento and a brand new one we just opened in Ventura, my adopted hometown, that had a whole 3,000 square feet of space and 115 souls showed up that first time. So we're doing it again in 3 months, not a year. We're going to hold it quarterly and see how big we can make this puppy grow. It's great. I don't have to travel. It's 2.2 miles to the venue. I sleep in my own bed. My cats are here. My food is here. It's wonderful. Also, let me plug Gen Con TV again. 2 things in particular. One, Sarah Moore's Sarah's Table on Friday afternoons, okay? She goes through all sorts of role-playing systems and stuff, the most esoteric ones, and she makes it so fun. Just joyful gaming personified. Then our good friend Peter Adkison on Monday mornings, it's Peter versus the Machine, or Peter Against the Machine, where he teaches board games. And right now, he's teaching Civilization 5, Sid Meier's, in honor of his father who just passed away. And so that was a game that they both loved playing together and stuff. And so I watched that, and Peter's just a charming person and a great teacher to watch. One more, my buddy Thor, yes, the mighty Thor, he is just released a board game that's available that's D&D based as well. So look up Thor and board game out there, and you'll find him out there. Just ask me, I'll send you a link. Okay, those are all
your plugs.
Yes.
Well
I'm totally unplugged now. Oh no.
This is excellent pluggage.
Thank you. Yes, I have a lot of. Some people have baggage. I have pluggage. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Mondo,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
Yeah, can't wait to see you in just a couple weeks, right? It's going to be so much fun, and all the gooey people are going to be there, and all. It's going to be a lot of joy. Yes, absolutely. So, and the game show is going to be a blast, and I just can't wait. Can't hardly wait. So,
yay!
Yes. All right, Camera Mandy, are you happy with us? It is 10:52.
I appreciate you both so much. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Donnie, who owns Genghis Khan with his wife Andrea. Did I say it right, Andrea? They wanted to get in contact with you, so I've set you up on Facebook, and we appreciate you so much.
So Andrea says it's like mitochondria.
Did I say it right?
Andrea says it's like mitochondria. So as long as you remember mitochondria, you don't forget Andrea.
Okay.
That's what she says. So
powerhouse of the
that's how I try to do it, and I still screw it up all the damn time. But she knows we love her.
So much.
I love you, Alphinius. I love you, Camera Mandy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mondo, and all friends. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you next week back at the studio, and we'll do another little round of some crazy stuff, and then we'll be at Gen Con the week after. Yes, how fun. All right. Don't forget, we got the online Gen Con stuff that Pam and her little crew are putting together. We got all kinds of things that are going on, and of course, Darkness and Genzicon is coming. Yes, Darkness and Genzicon. All right, my friends, Armando, Cameramendi, and all the rest of you, may all your adventures be sticky. Ha ha!
Bye.